Ms. Valentine, thank you for coming to this interview with Movement of Grace Church.
Thank you for having me.
We're very excited to proceed with the interview, and why don't you just start by telling me a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I am originated from Seattle, Washington, born and raised. I migrated to Texas in 2021 with my husband, and we are pastors. That's going to be launching out pretty soon. We have 5 children and 9 grandchildren. I am a medical assistant. I've been a medical assistant for 30 years, give or take, and I'm now pursuing my BS in psychology and counseling.
How much more time do you have left in your degree?
I will be graduating in the spring of 2026.
2026, 2026. Okay. Planning to go into your master's after that?
I do. I'm going to go into, actually, be going to another school, Regent University, and I'm going to be studying for my LMFT degree for counseling.
MFT. That's wonderful.
Yes.
So we've talked to a lot of people. Why don't you tell me why do you want to be in this position, this leadership role that we're offering?
It's kind of a double degree of what I want to do. So I want to do the Christian side of things in leadership and organizations, and then I also want to help the community with marriages. So I feel that this position particularly aligns with my uh, passion with helping people get into leadership roles, helping them with organizations, and just bringing more creativity to the companies.
And have you had any experience in this type of leadership position?
I have some ministry leadership roles, but I have not developed any uh, secular strength in that area.
And how long have you been in the ministry roles using your skill set?
I would say off and on, maybe about 10 years, because I work with my husband and then behind the scenes a lot of times. I don't really get a lot of on the front end. I do praise and worship, which I've taken a lead in that area for most of my ministry time. But again, I also work with the women, which I've had some great opportunities to lead there as well.
That's awesome. As you know, working with ministry is a team based effort. So we believe in high performing teams.
Mhm.
In terms of strengths and weaknesses, give me a couple of each as it relates to you working with teams.
That's
What are your
very, very
strengths working with a team? What are your weaknesses working with a team?
working with a team is, for the most part, it's great. I love working with people. I like getting ideas from people to make things better, more creative. But then I also appreciate my alone time because I have more of a thought process on what I want it to look like. So my strength with working with the team is that I'm able to be a part of something and maybe help grow it, bring new ideas, and help make things better. And then there was a weakness question you asked.
Yes, what do you feel your weaknesses would be in terms of working on a team?
The only weakness I could see potentially would be me depending on someone to do something and then it doesn't get done. Because I am one that kind of overachieves. So if I take on something, I'm going to make sure it gets done. But when you have a team, you kind of have to depend on other people. So that's a weakness that I have to work on.
So, hypothetically, if you were working on a team and you expected something to be done from your team players and it wasn't, how would you go about addressing that?
Well, I have checkpoints and I use those very well. So I would probably notice things were lacking before it got to the point of needing to say something. And so I would probably take notice and then ask them if they needed help with anything. Is there anything I could do to help keep them on track and kind of bring in a suggestive question instead of a how come, why, those seems to work for me. So I use those.
Okay. One last thing. Give us a scenario of where you had a misunderstanding, and then tell us how you dealt with that, and then where do you feel that you excel as a leader?
Okay, so because I'm gonna go piggyback off of the ministry and the secular, I'm gonna use leadership for the ministry for my example. But there's been times where I've had to deal with potential issues with some ladies that were also my friends, but I had to address them as a leader. And I kind of took the initiative of being a support to help them get in the place they needed to be as a friend, but still making sure that they understood my position as a leader to make sure it got done. So I was able to succeed with that because I had a tendency to listen first and understand second and then move forward. And then what was your second part of that?
So where do you feel you excel the most as a leader?
I would say confidence. My confidence when I'm doing something that I really take leadership on, I'm very confident that I'm going to achieve it. And it kind of comes with the energy that's anybody that's working with me, or if I'm working by myself, I'll let the person know that I'm accountable to that is getting done. I'm on time. If I have questions, I'm asking the right questions, and I'm making sure that it takes full circle and it gets done. So I'm pretty proud of that.
That's awesome. Let me ask you one final question. In terms of your confidence, um, how is your performance when you're not confident about an area that you're going into? So we know you perform well when you're confident. What about when you're not so confident about a task? How do you perform? And if your confidence is lacking, how do you address
Well, I have a pretty strong husband who has taken me under, the role of leadership, getting me in training and giving me areas that I could work on. So I'm pretty big on checkpoints with him. So the only areas that I've had to do the leadership primarily was ministry. And I would kind of go to him and ask, what is it that I can do? Or am I doing this right? Or can you help me? I have no problem with communicating when I can't, or if I feel like I can't, do the tasks.
it? Sounds good. All right, Ms. Valentine, thank you so much for sitting in on this interview. And we have some other individuals that will be interviewing, but we really like you as a candidate, and we will have someone reach out to you.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.